Nick, overall thoughts on the game?
Yeah, there's a lot that I'm gonna have to watch to be able to process everything. And obviously, at the end of the day, you know, had the lead in the fourth quarter, and they made more plays and coached better than us and played better than us in the fourth quarter, and they came back and got a win. Again, we'll have to go back and watch a lot of this stuff. There was a couple scenarios right there where we got a little bit behind the sticks. Whether I know the plays, whether it was a hold or a false start, got behind the sticks there. Those are some self-inflicted things that we did. When those happen, I'm always putting that on myself. When we don't master the things that require no talent, that's something that's always going to be on me, because that's something that we talk about an awful lot. And, we have to drive that home, and I have to drive that home. So that's on me.
Yeah, you notice a difference this year in how long it's taking the play call to get to Jalen versus other years. I know Patullo's a new coordinator. Did you notice a difference there?
No. Again, there's so many things that go into that. I feel like I didn't feel, obviously we had the one that was a huge one on fourth down, where we got up and kind of snapped it on one. A lot of things that go into that. Again, we're doing everything we can do to find solutions, not assign blame. And we're a team, we're together. So it's always going to be an us thing.
In the fourth quarter, two mistakes that happened, on offense throughout the game. Where do you think those originate from in terms of some of the fundamental play?
The which ones?
Either the breakdown on the shot play penalties or some.
Yeah, again, anytime we have penalties or something like that, that's something that you can control. There's things that happen in the heat of the game that are gonna happen. But if there's stuff like, pre-snap, post stuff, I always going to take accountability for that.
Follow up on that. 2 first downs were taken off the board because of penalties, and then they had a drive extended because of a penalty.
Mm-hmm.
What were your perspective on those calls?
Yeah.
And also, why were those issues in critical situations?
Yeah. Obviously, I've been around this long enough where, calls, they balance each other out. I know sometimes there's always going to be like, well, we get screwed in this one. I don't think that way. They all balance each other out. You're going to get some that you think you should get. You're going to get some that you're going to get. It's going to go against you sometimes as well. So those guys do the best they can do and take a lot of pride in that. I got a lot of respect for the referees, and we'll never put anything on that. Again, those things happen in split second situations, and then the review, same thing. So a lot of respect for what they have to do in real time. So again, it's tough. You just don't want to put yourself in those situations where it's coming down to a decision making by somebody else.
What's your perspective on the missed opportunity on the deep shot too? Like what went wrong on the deep shot from Jalen to AJ?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and look at that. I thought they got a good reroute in on that on AJ within the slot right there. These guys made a lot of plays today. Credit to their defense, but I need to look at that play before I'm able to answer that question.
Obviously, this is obviously the first time you guys, as an organization, not as an organization, but as this collection, have come off wins. Have you found anything different in terms of your preparation, what you need to do, the attrition of that experience last year, playing into what's kind of been going on with some of the sloppiness this year?
Yeah, no, I think that the guys have worked extremely hard in preparation. I see the same hunger that was there prior to us winning the Super Bowl. So I don't think it's anything like that. Again, just the name of this game is always going to come down to detail, and as far as us as coaches and players, we weren't detailed enough today, and they were a little more detailed than us. And it's a good football team. Hats off to them. Coach Payton's obviously a really good coach, and a lot of respect for that opponent.
You did hit on some of the deep shots in this. Going into this game, why did you think that would be open and available to you?
Yeah, obviously, as the game goes, you see different things that come up. We've talked about being more explosive in the run and the pass game, and obviously, I'd have to look at what the stats were. We didn't make enough plays, and we didn't coach good enough today. So, you know, I don't know.
You think you had Jalen 38 pass attempts, Saquon 6 runs. I know you were behind the stakes. You know, throwing maybe a little bit more. That's a pretty wide disparity.
Mm-hmm.
Is that an indication maybe the offense is a little out of balance today?
Yeah. You know, obviously we want to be able to, just like, you know, when we talk about, you know, getting AJ the ball or Devontae the ball or Saquon the ball, we all want to get them all the ball as much as we possibly can. Dallas as well. Obviously we want to run the ball more than we were able to today, or what we did today. You know, you always want to have come out of that game with Saquon getting enough touches because of the type of player he is. So again, we'll look for solutions, and you know, we're on a short week trying to get better to put ourselves in position to go play against another NFC East opponent.
You feel like you can rely on your run game to close out games? Or
Mm-hmm.
like you
Yeah.
were last year?
I do. I do. I still believe so much in the guys that we have up front, and you know, and who we have in the backfield. I do.
You mentioned the details. Obviously, details is something we stress. We bring it up all the time. Do you see like a common theme as to why the details aren't as sharp as they have been in past years?
Details is, I mean, it's kind of a wide range of things. When we talk about details, we talk about our fundamentals, and obviously there's so many different fundamentals that go into it. You know, we took care of the football today. We didn't create a turnover though, right? You know, I'll have to look at how the blocks were, the block destruction. I'll have to look at, you know, then it goes down to being on the same page. I think you hear guys talking about same page because they know that's a big part of the details. I didn't feel like there was major busts today. And then it's situational football. And so again, we'll have to look at all those things. You know, same page too is, you know, some of those pre-snap penalties, and you know that goes into that as well on detail. So there's a collection of different things. But again, you know, it always comes down to the team making the fewer mistakes usually is the team that's victorious.
Quick three and outs. Some of those quick 3 and outs offensively left your defense on the field quite a bit. Does that factor into any of the decision making offensively, or should it?
As far as
Play calls just to try to sustain drives and
yeah, you know, I think that plays into my area of going for it more on a 4th down. You know, we went for it on that 4th and 4 maybe. Right there, obviously had what happened, but yeah, I mean, you always want to be on the attack as offense, right? And you know, there are different circumstances though that play into it, right? You know, with some of the 3 and outs, like I think we had a couple penalties that put us behind. And then, you know, again, just and some of those didn't coach well enough, didn't execute well enough.
Some of the things you have to correct on a short week. How difficult is that? Jalen said, you know, basically you have to look inward. Is this more of a sort of a DNA week, for lack of a better term?
Yeah, this week you're talking about a short week. Yeah, this week, you know, there's keys to games that you have, on all the different games that you play in this league, as far as different types of games, right? And I'm not talking about opponents. I'm talking about short weeks. You know, bye week, coming off a bye week, first game of the year, rain game, snow game, wind game, whatever it may be. And so yeah, that's always the keys into a unique week like today or this week.
Shift. What specifically happened?
Yeah, you know, I guess I didn't really. You didn't get a big explanation, but apparently we weren't set, and Saquon started the motion before we were set. So that's on us. We want to get up and get set as quick as we possibly can, so then you can go through all the different things that you need to go through at the line of scrimmage to help you execute the play. And so that's something that. That we can't make that mistake. That's a mistake that'll get you, and it obviously got us today.
All right. Thanks, folks.
Thank you.